Right, where do I start with this? I guess where I've been would be the best place, right? Well, for the last 3 years, I was busy working, essentially. When I started this channel, I don't know if I've ever really gone into it before, but I was unemployed. I had commission work and stuff like that every now and again, but it wasn't really solid enough to rely on as an income, and I also couldn't really help with the rent or anything like that, which means I had plenty of time to focus on like videos and projects and stuff. But it also meant that Arco wound up being essentially our sole earner, and that wound up with her getting a huge amount of debt just trying to keep the roof over our heads, which we had to sort of figure out a plan to clear. So the plan that we laid out was to move in with my brother for a year. Unfortunately, the quarantine had other plans, and we wound up staying there for 2 instead. And because of everything surrounding the quarantine, we didn't really get much progress made on the whole debt situation. It's cleared now, like we've got it all sorted out, like financially we're doing okay. We did try our best with some videos during the quarantine as well, like the Final Fantasy VII Let's Play, which we unlisted because Arco thinks we can do it better now, and I kind of agree with her, but I don't think we're in a rush to do it again yet. But yeah, the quarantine eventually kind of just sapped all the energy out of me, and I lost my drive to do a lot of stuff during that time. And that's around the time I got myself a job working as an after-hours school cleaner. I did that for about a year before I decided that ultimately I needed something with better hours and pay, so I landed myself a charity retail gig. And I did that for about 3 years, and that brings us up to about December of last year, where I just couldn't do it anymore and I quit. And I feel bad about not doing anything with the channel in all that time, because it's not like I didn't have the time for it, if I'm completely honest. My job was a very public-facing one, and I don't remember if I ever brought it up on the channel before now, but I have pretty severe social anxiety, as well as good old anxiety classic on top of it. So what tended to happen more often than not was I'd have a shift at work, be exhausted from a full day of forcing myself essentially to talk to people I didn't care about, and then I'd just have no motivation or drive for anything at the end of the day. I barely even had it in me to draw stuff, even when it was just for me, which is something I'm having a bit of a hard time kind of figuring out, if that makes sense. Like, obviously you're listening to me say this over me drawing the new design for the channel mascot, but this is the first thing I've drawn in like maybe 2 months, I'm not sure. Like, all of this going to work, coming home too tired to do basically anything has kind of left me feeling like I don't really have it in me anymore to do this, which I know is something I can figure out if I just knuckle down and do it. Which is part of the reason why this update video is a drawing video. It's to help me shake off the rust, essentially. I could have used some of the footage I have left over from the failed Pokopia Let's Play, but I thought a drawing video would be better, you know, like more to form. And that segs pretty well into what I'd like to focus on with the channel going forward. Obviously, you guys have probably noticed the first episode of the Pokopia Let's Play I put out, and I'll be fully honest with you, I'm not happy with it. I said as much in the community post about it as well, and to be more honest with you, I probably won't be doing anything more with it. Like, for now anyway. I'd like to revisit it in some way or another down the line, but I'm not entirely sure what that's going to be just yet. Then there's also the demo playthrough I did for Tomodachi Life, which was just an editing exercise for myself, again to shake off the rust. Like, where I've obviously not been making videos, I haven't been editing anything either, so I just need to kind of refigure that out. But yeah, as far as Tomodachi Life is concerned, I'd love to do something with that. The original Tomodachi Life on the 3DS is one of my all-time favourite games, and I have something of an idea for what I want to do with it. It's similar to what I do on the 3DS one. It's sort of like an experiment, which I think will be fun for me to make, and potentially interesting for you guys to follow along with. Without giving away too much about it, I could maybe even use the community polls to gauge what you'd like to see in it as it progresses, if that makes sense. So I think it could be a fun idea. In regards to Let's Draws, I'd love to pick them back up and keep doing them, obviously. The best and worst thing about my old drawing videos is that they're this cool time capsule that can quickly show me where my art was at any specific time in my life. But I'm uncomfortably aware now that some of them are 10 years old at this point, and I'll be fully honest with you, it sucks to look at some of them. I'm not interested in redoing all of them, because I think if I get too stuck into redoing old videos, I'll wind up just remaking the same things over and over again, and I really just don't want to do that. So I think at the absolute least I want to have another crack at the FF7 ones, and maybe a small selection of the other ones like Sonic, whose legs I coloured wrong by accident, or the Alundra one, because I love that character, but the art I did was bad even by my standards at the time, and it's bothered me ever since I uploaded it. I know he wasn't a very popular choice for a video, but like I said, I love the character, and Alundra has had a real influence on the identity of this channel for me, because I use the music from Alundra in a lot of my videos whenever I can, and there's a very real chance I've even played some Alundra music in this video because I love it that much. Obviously, I'd like to create some new, fresh Let's Draws, but in the interest of easing me back into it, I think these redos are probably more worthwhile to focus on for the time being. That's not to say that I won't make new Let's Draws down the line, and once I've gotten used to the production of it all again, I can probably start staggering them, so it'll be like a redo, then a new video, then a redo, like sort of on and on like that for a bit. In terms of other video projects, I have got a long-form video in the works, which I mentioned in the community post, but I'm not going to get too much into detail about now. As of recording this, I've finished the script, and I'm most of the way done with getting the footage I need. I just need to record the video and then edit it all together ultimately. So I don't think I'm really even close to finishing it yet, but I'll keep you posted on my progress with it. It's kind of my hope that I can get it done by the end of the month, but I'm not sure how likely that is to happen. So in the meantime, I'm going to focus on getting smaller videos out for you, like the Let's Draws and the thing I mentioned earlier with Tomodachi Life. I've really enjoyed writing the script for this big video and planning out how the video is going to play out and everything, so I'm hopeful once it's done and out there for you all that you'll enjoy it too. Because if it does do well, I'd like to make similar videos again. And I guess that just leaves us with, why a goblin? This is just how I've been drawing myself for the last few years, and I've grown really attached to this version of me that I draw now, and it kind of goes along with I guess you'd call it a theme for this channel that I want to have. I've had this idea for a while, even like back 5 or 10 years ago, just rattling around in the back of my brain, to create this sort of, I guess, story around the channel. Like, instead of it being a straightforward, hey, I'm such and such, welcome to my channel, like, I want it to be more like, welcome, I'm G, Goblin Overseer of the Archworks, but, you know, not with that voice or anything like that. I don't mind being the persona behind this channel, and I've always really valued being authentically myself over the YouTubeized brand version of myself that most people tend to turn into over time. But it's gotten to a point where I just have to be honest with myself here. I am, at the very core of my being, an anxiety-riddled mess that struggles so much with social interaction that even just talking into a mic is uncomfortable for me. And I think making a mascot and a theme for the channel that I can effectively filter my insecurities through will ultimately make for better quality videos for you guys. And this really became apparent as something I needed to do when I uploaded the Pokopia playthrough, because as I was recording it, I thought it sounded so much better than it actually did. Like, when I went to sit down and edit it, all I could hear was the nerves rattling out of me the entire time, and I'm hoping that by working through a character I can limit that in some way. I want to be able to do this without losing the authenticity, obviously, because I really value that. I want this channel to be something that is just authentically me, but with a character in front of it, and I want it to sound more confident, if that makes sense. So that's my plan for the channel. I'm gonna have to obviously sit down and make some more channel assets to work the new theme in, and that's gonna take some time, but while I'm doing that, I'm gonna get started on making more videos for you lot. And I really appreciate any of you who have stuck around for all this time and continue to check out my videos and everything. I want to do better by you guys, so what I will say is, at the very least, just keep an eye on this space, because I can do this stuff and I want to do this stuff, and I'm fed up with feeling like I can't. Also, another just quick, less important addition, if I'm still using the old end card at the end of this video, ignore the socials on there, they don't exist anymore. If you want to find me anywhere, it will be on here. Anyway, thank you for watching, appreciate it, and I will hopefully see you in whatever video comes next.